Well, we got involved in Alta Vista, or for example, it was back in the early 80s, there was a 70% plus dropout rate for Latino kids in Kansas City. About 1987, 88, there became, in Kansas City, a 50% dropout rate across the board. So then it became a citywide problem. We always had the problem in the Latino community. At that time, I was probably one of the only ones that was really advocating for Latinos in their education. And so I was representative for the Latino community. And one of the recommendations was that we should establish an alternative school for Latino students. We partnered with De La Salle Alternative, and they wanted to serve Latinos, but Latinos didn't want to go to that school because it was kind of in the middle of the city. So there was kind of like, we had been talking to some kids in the neighborhood, and they wanted us to have a program. They wanted to be in the neighborhood. And they also wanted a school that, aside from them get their diplomas, would start talking about their history and their story. We found the basement of the Alta Vista Christian Church on Holly, 23rd and Holly. And they gave us the building for free. It wasn't the most optimal place for a school. We made classrooms with trash bags and plastic, and the community rallied to us. They found paper for us and pencils. We scrambled for desks, and we had funding. We got funding for $50,000 from the Francis Foundation, and with that $50,000, we were supposed to serve 10 kids. And on the first day of programming, we had 20 kids show up. So it showed us that our kids didn't want to be out of school. They just wanted a school that would serve their needs. So we were able to expand right away to 20 kids. And within a year, we knew we had to be someplace bigger. And we were able to get a grant from the Gannett Foundation, and we purchased the building on Holly. The focus is always to get kids just get the high school diploma. But then we started seeing that our kids started to ask for more, that they were actually thinking about going to college. And so the challenge for us was, yeah, we're getting them out of high school, but are we doing a good enough job to get them through college? So we started improving our teaching program. For the first 10 years of our existence, we didn't know we were going to be open the next day. We depended on the foundations, private groups. And actually, when the opportunity to become a charter school came along, we were almost at a stage where if it hadn't come along, it probably would have closed. So the charter offers the opportunity to continue our work and to expand our work. We got involved in the early college high school. That was in the late 80s, mid 90s. And what we saw there was, if we were going to be successful with early college, we had to start doing middle school. So we opened up the middle school. And then we started looking at, our goal was, well, why can't we have a system? So about 3 years ago, we started the elementary school with the idea that we're a pre-K through K system. So it's been a long path, but all along the path, we would not have been able to do it if we didn't have the community. The community rallied to us and helped us when we were able to acquire the Douglas facility, which is a new high school. That would not have been possible without the community saying, we don't want anything in there except a school, and we want that school to be Alta Vista. So we've been very, very fortunate. The challenge for us is to now also not forget who we were set up to serve. This was those very at-risk kids, the kids that were making the system.